Good afternoon. Happy Tuesday. Today is Tuesday, April 7th. Shortcut date is 4/7/20. Today for work you have Math Story 8.11, Graduation Party, Math pages 40, 41, and 42, and ELA 43, 44, and 45. I want to start off today's video with a couple of shout outs for the people who followed directions the first time. I said in my email and in my video that if you watched the video, completed all of the work, to comment on the YouTube video itself and tell me that you were done. So thank you so much to these absolute all-stars. If I could move you up to Silver Star, I would. Please know that in my heart and in my mind, you are on Silver Star today. Fernanda, Sage, Siraj, Samuel, Serena, Lexi, and Kother. So you guys all commented your name and done on the bottom of the YouTube videos. That is the expectation, to show me that not only did you do the work, but you had it in front of you, you watched the video, and you reviewed the content, meaning that you're doing every single thing you possibly can do to do your best. So thank you so much. Please remember, if you did not do that yesterday, I'm expecting you to do it today because it's the only way that I can see that you are staying on top of your academics. I spoke to Audrey and Eva yesterday via FaceTime, and I know there's still a few of you that I need to talk to. Honestly, they just take a really long time, so please be patient with me. However, they did request a special super puppy at the end of this video, and I have to say it's the cutest one I've ever drawn. So if you are someone who's been doing the work, you're sitting here, you have all your materials ready to go, you review, and then you stay for Tales of Despero, you will be revealed the super puppy at the end. So go ahead and stay with me. We're gonna start with Be the Sun, Not the Salt. Today's lesson is Fill in the Potholes, which as Michiganders, and we know that the author of this book is from Michigan as well, we are very familiar with potholes. The Parable of the Pothole. One night, a young man is walking down a rough street in a poor neighborhood. Because the street is badly maintained and dimly lit, he trips in a pothole. Picking himself up, hurt, bruised, and angry, he asks, "Why me? And why don't people take care of things?" Time passes. The man finds himself in the street quite often. But having fallen, he is wiser and more street smart. He sees the pothole and walks around it, asking himself, "Why doesn't someone fix that?" Time passes. Life has become good for the man. He doesn't have to spend time in that neighborhood or walk down that street anymore. He walks down different streets. Smooth, well cared for, easier streets. That old street is irrelevant to him now. He doesn't think about it. Time passes. It's been years since the man has been on that old street. He reflects on his life and the many things he has attained. He also remembers falling into the pothole and recalls the injury he suffered. He goes back to the street and sees that the pothole is still there. No one has fixed it. He realizes that he can repair it. So he does. Doing good when you don't have to. Thinking about ways to help other people, avoiding the same mistakes that you made. These are ways to be heliotropic. You don't have to announce to the world that you're the great pothole filler you are. But if you can find ways to prevent others from getting hurt, why not? The good news is that you can make a difference into other people's lives at any time. Do it now, even though you don't have to. So, obviously, we're in quarantine and we're staying safe, right? So we're not leaving and going and literally filling in potholes, but I want you to think about ways that you could do that emotionally for people that you're around right now, your parents, your siblings, your grandparents, right? If they ask you to set the table, set the table. Or what if you set the table before they even ask? If they ask you to get your schoolwork done, get your schoolwork done. Or what if you get your schoolwork done before they even ask? That is ways that you can fill. It's literally the same. It's like a Michigander version of saying fill someone's bucket, right? It's not difficult to go out of your way to help someone even when you don't have to, but it makes a huge difference for that person. So I really want to encourage you to think about doing that the rest of the week. Go ahead and get your mastery out. We're going to go over that first. The question says, Jan and her parents are planning a graduation party for her older sister. They will serve sandwiches to their guests. If each tray of sandwiches serves 12 people, how many trays of sandwiches will they need to serve 60 guests? So I'm looking for the amount of trays so I know my unit. And for my model, I went down. You can see I color-coded it for you. Each tray was worth 12. So I know 1 tray equals 12, 2 trays must equal 24, 3 trays 36, 4 trays 48, 5 trays, 5 trays equals 60. So my answer is 5 trays. My equation is 60 people divided by 1 tray equals a total need of 5 trays. So my answer is 5 trays, and my equation to match the story is 60 divided by 12. Go ahead and get your math out. We're starting on page 40. This question, I hope you didn't get tricked. As you can see, the question's asking you that she says that she can plot 1/4 on one of the marks and 5/8 on another mark of the number line. So it's just asking, can both of these values be plotted on the number line? It's not asking, can they be plotted on the same point, okay? So make sure that you're reading the question carefully. The answer is B, because she can plot 5/8 because this is broken into eighths, equal eighths, and 1/4 is equivalent to 2/8, so she can also plot 1/4. So the answer is B. At the bottom here, I wrote a visual for you because this really helped me out. So it says that in his bag, Jay has 3 folders, yes? In his desk, he has 2 times as many as he does in his bag. So I'm thinking to myself, 3 times 2 means that he must have 6 folders in his desk. Then the problem goes on to say that Jay's teacher has 5 times as many in her desk as Jay's desk. So I need to think about 6 groups of 5 would equal 30 total folders. So I'm looking for a number of 30, and the only equation that equals 30, we know that we do the numbers in parentheses first, is A. So your answer for 15 is A. 16, you should have counted the total. It's asking you about each, which is 1 singular, so your answer is 1/6. And the bottom, number 17, the answer is 12. If you have questions, ask me during office hours, but you should have gotten page 41 correct pretty simply. And both of these questions on the back also are questions that we've had on interims over and over again if you were reading carefully. Number 18 should be D. Length area is the space inside, length times width, 4 times 5 equals 20. And 19, the answer is C. I almost got tricked and I magic maybe A, but I realized that this is a multiplication equation when I read it carefully for the second time, and C is division. So 19 is C. Cool. 8 minutes in, we're moving. All right. Writing, if you have questions about this, let me know. The answer, I magic maybe both C and E. We're looking for the one that does not support the topic sentence. And so the one that was the most random that I thought could easily be removed because it has nothing to do with the main idea is sentence 6. 18, the best transition sentence. So it was asking you if you had to include another sentence in between paragraph 1 and paragraph 2, what would it be? The answer is B. And lastly, this question was a little bit interesting. Essentially, what it was asking you to do was start from the student's topic sentence and write their notes, because the way that this person wrote their notes was in their own words, and it was very concise and already very well written in my opinion. But with the certain skills, you could make them a little bit more concise. So as you can see here, I wrote the entire first sentence, I combined the second and third sentence, and I combined the third and fourth sentence. So my final paragraph sounded like this. Baleen whales use a material called baleen to help them eat. Types of baleen whales include blue whales, right whales, and gray whales. Baleen hangs in strips from the sides of a whale's mouth, acting like a cage. The whale sucks water into its mouth and forces the water out. Little ocean creatures in the water get trapped by the baleen. Stunning, more concise than the notes, but very much so talking about the same consistent topic throughout. Oh my gosh, guys. Boom, boom, we're done. So, As you can tell, I'm not going to use the E word because it's not. This whole situation, this whole coronavirus, lifestyle change, nothing about this is E word. But I need you to work with me and get the work done and watch the video, because the work should take about an hour and the video takes about 10 to 20 minutes, 25 minutes, and then extra stuff would be, reading for half an hour, 20 minutes, and then practicing math facts. So essentially, you can get very amazing results from really putting in 2 hours of good, solid effort. Okay? And that's very different than what we used to do, which was 8-hour days with at least 7 hours of good, solid effort. Okay? Taking away lunch and recess, etc., and snack. So, yes, nothing about this is E word at all, but it's definitely more simple to get the actual work done compared to when you were actually in school. So I need you to really take a leadership role and step up for your parents here and get this done, because the next time that you're in school, you're going to be in 4th grade, and that's going to require a lot of independence, okay? All right, so if you're interested in seeing Super Puppy, you've also been reading Tales of Despero with us. Make sure that you get comfy and get cozy. We're about to read chapter 32. The title is called Beware of the Rats. The candlelight on Mig's tray revealed Gregory limping toward her, the thick rope tied around his ankle and his hands outstretched. You, Gregory presumes, have brought food for the jailer? Oh, said Mig. She took a step backwards. Give it here, said Gregory, and he took the tray from Mig and sat down on an overturned kettle that had rolled free from the tower. He balanced the tray on his knees and stared at the covered plate. Gregory assumes that today, again, there is no soup. Eh? Said Mig. Soup, shouted Gregory. Illegal, shouted Mig back. Most foolish, muttered Gregory as he lifted the cover of the plate. Too foolish to be born, a world without soup. He picked up a drumstick and put the whole of it in his mouth and chewed and swallowed. Here, said Mig, staring at him, you forgot the bones. Not forgotten. Chewed. Oh, said Mig, staring at Gregory with respect. You eats the bones? You are very ferocious. Gregory ate another piece of chicken, a wing, bones and all. Ooh. And then another. Mig watched him, admiring his bravery. Someday, she said, moved suddenly to tell this man her deepest wish, I will be a princess. At this announcement, Roscoe, who was still by Mig's side, did a small, deliberate jig of joy. In the light of one candle, his dancing shadow was large and fearsome indeed. Uh-oh. Gregory sees you, said Greg to the rat shadow. Roscoe ceased his dance. He moved to hide beneath Mig's skirt. Huh? Shouted Mig. What's that? Nothing, said Gregory. So you aim to be a princess? Well, everyone has a foolish dream. Gregory, for instance, dreams of a world where soup is legal. And that rat, Gregory is sure, has some foolish dream too. If only you knew, whispered Roscoe. What? Shouted Mig. Gregory said nothing again. Instead, he reached into his pocket and held his napkin to his face and sneezed into it. Once, twice, 3 times. Bless you, shouted Mig. Bless you, bless you. Back to the world of light, Gregory whispered, and then he balled the napkin up and placed it on the tray. Gregory's done, he said, and he held the tray out to Mig. Done, are you? Then the tray goes back upstairs. Cook says it must. You take the tray to the deep downs, you wait for the old man to eat, then you bring the tray back. Those are my instructions. Did they instruct you to beware of the rats? The what? The rats. What about them? Beware of them, shouted Gregory. Right, beware of the rats. Roscoe, hidden beneath Mig's skirt, rubbed his front paws together. Warn her all. You like, old man, he whispered. My hour has arrived. The time is now, and your rope must break. No nibbling this time, rather a serious chew that will break in two. Yes, it is all coming clear. Revenge is at hand. Bum, bum, bum. All right, my kitties, if you have lasted this long, that means that you are deserving of a super puppy. Just wait, it's so cute, you're gonna die. You guys, I drew this. Ready? Ba, ba, ba. If you're watching, comment below a name for the puppy after you write your name, dash done, and write a name for the puppy. I miss you guys so much. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I hope you have a great Wednesday tomorrow, and I will send the video when I can.